hello. Welcome to our next episode of Dragon Age. I'm really excited to see what everybody does tonight. Before we get started, I'm just going to say a few words about our sponsors, and then I will pass it on over to Matt to introduce everybody. So our sponsors are Fundamental RPG. It's a simple D20 system that's not tied to any genre, so you can use it to play any style of game that you would like, from high fantasy to sci-fi and everything in between. You can pick up physical copies on Amazon or digital copies at ko-fi.com/Raven, like it's spelled at the bottom and top left corners of the screen. Also go check out Die Hard Dice at dieharddice.com. If you use the code Animus with a capital A, you can get 15% off your order until the 20th, at which point it goes back to the normal 10%. But they were super nice and added an extra 5% off for the holidays. And then I highly recommend checking out the Avalor Isa Lifeblood set. They're really, really pretty. There's a link straight to those there in chat. And then if you want to catch up on this show or any others that are on the channel, you can do so at the Fantasy Network at watch.thefantasy.network or over on our YouTube channel. Excuse me, just go to YouTube and search for Blackfeather Guild. And thanks so much for that. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm getting over a bad cold. Thanks so much for that subscription, Pat. Let me know in chat who you'd like to give an advantage to. And also, hey, Zan, it's great to see you. With that, I will pass it on over to Matt to introduce everyone and take it away.
Hello. Welcome back to our Tuesday night game of Dragon Age, the companion game to the one happening on Friday nights. We are in the home stretch. Wow, we are coming down to it, friends. Our intrepid team is now within sight of their destination, the excavation hole, where the Prophet is digging for a Titan, which I'm sure is totally fine. Everything's fine. It's all fine. We're going to go around and introduce everybody, let them introduce themselves and their characters, and we're going to start, as always, with Pat.
Yeah, I'm Pat. I'm a Tactric on Places Online, on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter. I play games like TTRPGs and video games and whatever. On this channel, occasionally on my channel, when I'm not on a mental health hiatus. So there'll be more things there at some point in the future, soon maybe. Watch on Twitter. I play Calyx. Calyx is our Navaran Mortalitasi mage. He is our not quite yet a necromancer, underground inside boy who has just had a hell of a trip talking to elven gods and titans, and now fighting Darkspawn, getting stabbed quite a bit by Darkspawn and then withering Darkspawn to death. It's been a lot.
Next up, we have Anna. Hello.
Hi there. I'm in the wrong spot, but that's okay. I'm Anna, aka Archibald the Funny, queer and trans advocate, music worker, and TTRPG streamer. If any of that sounds interesting, you can find me at Twitter at Archibald Dustbun, which is way down there in the corner, under Rafiki. But I play Mariana de la Morte, our very personable rogue, who is a crow, and here just looking for her sister and the other crows, and has to do a little casual murder. I'm sure this will be fine.
It's fine. Next up is Icy Historian. Hello.
Of course, I would cough the second you call my name. Hello, team, and hello, all you friends out there in internet land. I am Icy Historian at Icy Historian, all of the places on the internet that I feel like being found. Yeah, I play games, lots of places and with lots of people. Right now I'm playing here in this place with these people. So there's that. I'm playing Isala Polanius, who is a Tevinter Altus, who is real pumped about all of this, because, you know, if there's one thing, folks, I don't know if those of you out there, real Dragon Age lore hounds will back me up on this. The thing that always works well is when anyone from Tevinter hangs out in the Arlathan Forest. That's always good. All the time. So I'm looking forward to tea, crumpets, maybe a little nap, a little afternoon snooze. I think it's going to be great.
We'll have to see what we can accommodate there. Next up is Rafiki. Hello.
Hello. Happy Tuesday. Yeah, I'm Rafiki. I'm a TTRPG streamer, occasional musician. When I'm not here, I'm on a different channel. One of them is the GR Crew, where I usually GM TTRPG or play in them. Okay, and tonight I'll be playing again as Adrian the Dalish Elf, who hope that, having a Timminter here is not gonna, burn the whole place down. But she's okay, right?
Totally. Everything is fine.
Absolutely.
Next up is Janie. Hello.
Hello, how are you doing today?
Oh, we're making it. It's Tuesday. Woo!
Oh, it is, but what is a day, really?
Time's fake.
I am Janie Pot 7575. You can find me on Twitter at that same name. And what is a name? What is a game? I mean, we're just here to have fun, right? We're here to go to this camp type thing that we ended at last time and, sit back by the campfire, tell stories, make s'mores. We're making s'mores, right, Matt?
Sure. I bet there's some more of something.
No, we're making s'mores and we're going to tell stories and we're all going to, solve our problems together, working together with these people that we don't know and sing songs at the campfire at the end of the day. Right? Right?
Y'all are totally welcome to do whatever you want around your campfire when all is said and done.
No, you're supposed to say yes. That's what we're going to do. This is all going to end wonderfully.
It's fine. It'll be fine.
You're going to fix the dice for us, right?
I mean, look,
So
honestly, someone should have a talk with Roll20, but it's not me.
Well, Valentina, my mage, is just going to hope for the best and, just encourage you to, let us just enjoy ourselves. Ignore our low rolls.
It's fine. It's fine. And I am Matt. I'm a content creator of various stripes. I am the GM for this amazing party who have absolutely rolled with all of the ridiculous punches I have yeeted their way this season. And I am super excited to see what happens next. Congratulations. Y'all made it to the very edge of where the city was consumed so long ago. Y'all were in a temple structure. Y'all had been led there by a Hala. And now y'all need to decide what to do. Y'all can see the camp. It's out that away, out through kind of the empty bit where there's just trees now. You can see where a big clearing has been created, where a bunch of trees have been chopped down and everything. And you can make out what looks like a camp over there. So what are y'all up to? What are y'all doing?
So from here we can see a camp, but can we distinguish any figure at all of who may be there?
No, you can tell there are people moving around, but it is through trees that y'all are seeing this.
Mm-hmm.
And it is still a good little ways away.
No, okay.
By the same token, no one from there is likely to notice y'all unless y'all
set a place on fire.
Yeah, unless y'all start burning the forest down or just do a pillar of flame or whatever other nonsense y'all might get up to. Once y'all get real showy, you should be safe here.
Adrian's just gonna get really, really quiet for a moment and just stare into the distance at, trying to see as much of the camp as possible. Just evaluate the grounds because his destination's right there.
Okay. Let's just have you do me a perception seeing. Let's see what
Okay.
happens.
I can do that. I'm kind of guaranteed it's gonna go well, but I can do that. 16. Could be better, could be worse.
Okay, a 16. Now, as a side effect, or as a side consideration, how long do you want to sit there and kind of observe the camp?
Just a few minutes.
Okay. You can tell there's quite a lot of motion. You can discern that there's kind of 3 different types of motion. That's the wrong word, but it's the one I got. There's what looks to be like regular patrols, kind of on the edge. They're the ones closest to you. That's not surprising. Of course,
it's
they
great.
would patrol the area. Then there seems to be this like slow drudgery kind of motion, real slow, kind of shambly. And that's usually going towards what looks to be just like a rows and rows of just cloth tents. And then down to the middle of the camp where they kind of vanish from sight, presumably from what you have seen and heard. If people have shared things with you, presumably this goes down into the excavation. And the last group, they're not patrolling, but they're also not shambling around. So some sort of overseers maybe, or collaborators of some sort, people with more agency and authority.
All right.
Just to clarify, we're seeing kind of like
Yeah.
some outskirts camp right now. We're not seeing
Yeah.
like the hole itself.
Correct. There's still
Okay.
too many trees in the way and buildings and everything. This is just what Adrian kind of noticed over
Yeah.
just a long observation time.
I'll still keep a bit of an eye on things just to see if I can discern any pattern in patrols, but probably not due to distance and time constraint at the moment. So.
Yeah, they seem to be regular, but you can't really get a handle on it yet.
So when I saw my sister in a dream, she said that they were under a spell. Do any of you know how to counter that? I say, looking at the 3 mages.
It's going continuously. Like it seems to be. I wonder if they're channeling, just instead of somebody just keeping casting something over and over. I wonder if they're channeling some artifact. It might be a specific place that we have to find to shut it down. Maybe. I guess Pat gets. Would I have any further knowledge of that?
Would you or any of the other mages like to make a roll?
Sure.
Arcane lore, something like that. Heraldry is probably not going to help you here.
Yeah. Yeah, Rogue Squad has no fucking idea about that.
Okay. Let's
What
see.
do I need to roll again, Matt?
Cunning, and if cunning or magic with arcane lore or something like that.
Okay, I'll just do cunning.
Okay.
I got an 18 for arcane lore and a 19 for historical lore, if that would get us anything.
Cool. I love it. I dig it. We're probably for you, Asala, since Calix got a pretty good arcane lore. Oh, jeepers, Christmas. All of y'all are doing amazing. Wow. All right, Asala, we're going to use your historical lore. So be thinking about what you want to do with stump points there. Consider it exploration, maybe. Valentina, same with you. If you want to look at the sheet for your stunt points, like we've done before, I may come up with a offer for y'all on using those stunt points. We'll see what happens. We'll start with Calix, though. Calix, you are very confident that you're correct. Arcane lore, like what you have learned over your time, says that for something this complex to affect this many people this regularly, almost certainly is a ritual, almost certainly is built around an object. And it would almost certainly need to be tended to constantly, probably by a rotating cast of characters. I'm gonna imagine that you've seen something similar to this with Mortalitasi that are keeping particularly like rambunctious undead kind of contained, channeling them into a safe place. So something like that. Let's go over to Valentina. We'll go to Valentina on this one with your cunning roll. You've been studying, you've been working with this primal magic and everything, and there's this is what you have kind of picked up on. This place, now that you have been practicing with magic, now that you have been exposed to it, now that you are working on it, this whole place is like a well of power. Some combination of what the Elvish Empire had been doing here when they built a city out of this forest, like integrated into the forest. Something like with how the city was consumed. Calix has been talking about like a living mountain underground here. There's all sorts of weird, crazy magic stuff happening, and you're starting to feel it. So when y'all get to talking about this, something that's going to kind of click for you, Valentina, is with what Calix is talking about needing a ritual with an object, you also need a pretty good power supply. And a lot of times people revert to like sacrifice, blood, all that stuff. But there's a lot of power here already. They might not need a different fuel source to kind of use a adaptation of it. And Asala, you remember something that you think you maybe weren't supposed to ever learn?
Story of my life.
You had been, when you were younger, after the whole like younger mages that you rescued from the university, you remember at one point getting into one of the older mages' libraries, personal libraries, and reading up on things. And that journal that you've been reading reminded you of some stuff, including this one weird note that you remembered about a Tevinter expedition from one of the earlier blights that vanished in the Arlathan forest. And supposedly they had been carrying the horn of an archdemon.
Yeah, great. Oh man. I'm so glad that it was that and not like a Macy's bag or perhaps a delicious pie.
Or a real good batch of tea.
Yeah, I'm just really glad that the word archdemon was brought into this world. I feel good about that.
I mean, if you had rolled less great, you could have gotten a lie, and I would have just told you about like the supplies that they had in the wagon.
Sure.
But you know, you remembered all the fun details that really keep Asala up at night.
Nice. Nice.
It's what I do.
I love all of these things.
So, mages, y'all have a bunch of information now. Go forth.
It occurs. to me-
Valentina's just gonna like touch the ground with her open hands, but she's feeling the energy as she explains what she figured out.
Isala looks like there's like a moment where I think her brows sort of knits together as she's like looking and thinking, and you can almost see her like searching back through the Rolodex in her mind. And then she looks vaguely nauseous. And kind of like nods and like looks around and is like, yep. So probably part of an archdemon here somewhere, because we needed that. I know. And she sort of gestures like in that way that people do when they're like trying to hold on to themselves, but like are rapidly like losing the plot. It's like, I know that maybe we all here don't have the same level of experience with those, but it's just another part of what we're gonna be engaged with.
You do mean a dead one, correct? Because the Darkspawn don't seem to have gotten to the hole yet. Because in my mind, I was afraid of them finding something else down there.
No, they're not here yet. But I guess in Blight's past histories of phasing, I never was one for names and dates.
In some
The
other
horn.
age.
The horn was saved. Great. And was brought here. So that's yep.
Archdemon or not, this is good, right? Because all we have to do is stop the ritual, and that frees everyone, and then we have a lot of help.
Just don't hope that we don't go through 6 blight. I've survived 1 already. Don't feel like going through another one.
Well, so we have one ritual to disrupt to free everyone. I imagine there's some other ritual going on to tap into the Titans still, whatever the Prophet's precise plan is, that will also need to be dealt with while we free everyone, hopefully in a hurry, since we do have the ticking clock of the Darkspawn approaching now.
How do we protect ourselves from this?
When we were having those dreams, there was a specific Valentina, I feel like you'll appreciate this with our tree discussion previously. There was one specific tree in that dream that Fenharel seemed to specify to me. It was shrouded in elven magic and right next to the hole. Gave no indication of what it would do or how it would help us, but it was kind of front and center.
Well, we should probably go talk to it.
So, interesting note, Atrian, there was no tree. When you were looking over the camp, there was no tree. Like you could see over into the camp and you could see like where the tree line breaks.
Yeah.
And then the other side, you could see another tree line way on the other end with no accompanying trees anywhere in the middle.
Which indicate most likely a massive pit that it was, So, well, there's no tree near there. I'm assuming they're already pretty deep.
There's no visible tree there. It may be hidden.
So let's go over
How
there.
does one hide a tree?
Magic? I don't know what kind, but I would assume.
Well, were you looking for the tree?
I guess we're gonna have to get closer and get a better look.
If a ritual is happening with this horn, where would they do it? Where would they have to be to affect everyone?
Probably in the hole.
Actually, they needed the ritual to dig the hole, so maybe not? I think whatever ritual the prophet is doing is in the hole, because they needed to get down there to do it. But to get the, if we generously call it workforce, to dig, they would have needed to start the ritual prior to the hole?
So
One of the tents, then.
or a tree.
Adrian, when you were observing potential patrols,
Yes.
did any did any of the individuals look more like Roby and less physically attributed? Were there any obvious mages? Because they may have to rotate in and out in shifts to keep this effect going. They'd be a good source to follow.
Matt.
Best bet would be some of those people that
Yeah.
were neither the patrols nor the drudgery kind of folks
Yeah.
would probably be a good fit, but you couldn't really tell. Like some of them may have had robes on,
Yeah.
but hard to tell.
It's more a bit too far for me to tell. But I have a feeling it's not gonna be easy to exactly, just go by those patrol without being noticed.
Mhm.
So we may have to. Yes.
It's actually for Matt.
Hi.
Can I do just like a general sort of check in with like the magic currents or happening around to get some sense of like where sort of competing, I don't know, I imagine like pirate radio stations are happening, right? Like we've got like the summer camp from across the lake vibes with these two rituals going on that are competing for airtime and attention.
You absolutely can. Do me a magic roll.
I think I did already because I couldn't remember if I could do it without a focus. I got a 16.
Neat. Okay. So absolutely yes. There is a lot going on here. There is kind of this primal nature magic that Valentino is feeling. You can kind of feel it, but you're not sensing the full depth of it. You just know there's a lot of something there that's powering everything. There is a massive, like, it feels almost just like this like swirling cloud of magic that's just kind of permeating the camp. There is something, the best way to describe it is like a drum beat or a heartbeat deep down somewhere. And there is one like low, almost like pulsing bit of magic kind of near the center of the camp, but like a little off to the side. So there's a lot going on.
So can I you said the center of the camp. The camp is not deep down in the hole. The camp we can look at.
Correct.
Can I see anything? Like, is there a tent? Is there like a guy going whoa, whoa? Is there like what's happening?
So I have a little bit of a mechanical question here. And Rafiki, you might actually be the one who'd be able to answer this. Is there anything that's kind of like a wizard sight or like being able to like pierce magic veils, anything like that happens in
Oh.
this system?
Good question.
I
As
love
a
asking this.
skill. Let me go quickly check.
Like,
Uh,
if there's not, we will absolutely make some stuff up to do it. But
mhm. Uh,
It's actually called Asalavision. It's not.
oh,
It's brand new. trademark.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Just it's a little thing for me.
I'm just gonna bring up the GM guide PDF real quick, because there may be like you're like looking more like into detect magic type of deal, or more.
Kind of. I'm thinking more like a wizard site from some other magic public thing.
Not to my knowledge, to be honest,
Okay,
but
we
I'm
can-
did not
we can-
read through the whole thing. So
Okay, then here's what we'll do. Asala. We'll just kind of BS this a little bit. We'll make up our own fun. That's the better way to say that. All right, where are you at with your MP, with your magic points right now? You full up? You
you should be.
after leveling up. Yeah, if
Yes.
y'all were not previously, you can be. Please.
Yeah, I am full up.
Good, neat. That was a good way for me to say that when I hadn't said it previously. So good. Okay. We're gonna basically have you do kind of a ritual if this is what Asala wants to do. The idea being that you want to kind of penetrate through whatever's going on to try to pinpoint sources. Is kind of how I'm gonna, with what you've been asking and what you want to do. So I'm gonna have you roll magic again, but the more MP you put into it, up to 5, the deeper you'll be able to see, but there's going to be a extra risk. So if you fail the roll, you're going to see too much. And there's some stuff here.
Oh man. You know what I always wanted, Matt, with my
Yeah.
Dragon Age is a little Call of Cthulhu.
Uh-huh.
It's always what I feel like this is just really the last logical conclusion for,
Oh, yeah.
for me here. Yeah, I mean
Just
I
roll
got,
sanity for me real fast, and then
I got 32 MP.
mhm.
What's
Aw.
like what's 5 between friends? I mean, we're gonna go all the way, right? What am I gonna do? Save it for 3 sessions from now?
I want Asala to succeed at this so badly, but by the same token, because I think it'd be hilarious, I want you to fail real bad.
Me too, but I am looking at my picture and I think I have an automatic crit and I also think I have advantage. So I'm gonna tell you, Matt, I
You're
don't
not going
know.
to fail. All right. Go ahead and roll for that. Let's see what happens and what you need to do.
Just regular magic roll.
Yeah, just a regular magic roll. Okay.
19.
A 19's pretty great. Would you like to use your advantage to see if you can get more? You do not need to. That is strictly up to you.
I think I'll roll with 19. I mean,
Okay.
I feel like that's pretty good. I don't want to tempt fate here.
All right. So we're going to take a little bit, because this is me, to do a little bit of fun roleplay narrative time stuff. So, Asala, describe how you get settled down to do this ritual while you're just trying to like gather some information for me.
So I feel like this is sort of the that's my secret cap, I'm always angry moment for Asala, right? Where it's like, why would the Imperium give a flying sweet Andraste about this like shrimpy little Altus? Like, no, literally no one cares. There are far more obnoxious people who have existed in the Imperium. She has not shown herself to be of any particular anything yet. And I think this is sort of where you see where she ran afoul of the powers that are within the Imperium. And I think she sort of pulls up her sleeves and reveals these like intricately drawn like tattoos, but they're kind of in like a like, you know, the like gel pens that were really big in the late 90s, early 2000s, where you'd get like a social studies notebook, but the paper would be purple because like your pen was like a blue with flecks of silver. It's like that kind of ink. And she's kind of got them on her, and it's like kind of they're pretty intricately drawn. And she sort of settles and very methodically takes out like just some random stuff that she has kind of been carrying. She has like an old quill pen, some pieces of parchment paper with like symbols on them, and she marks some things in the dirt. And like she's doing really old, questionable, off the beaten path kind of scrying magic. And she gets herself set up, and it's as if like she's putting together a sandwich. Like it's very mundane, but like clearly weird. And she sort of gets settled, and like it's almost like she sits and she goes very still. And she gets very cold. Like if anyone were to touch her, it would be as if she were like, she still feels like a person, but like it's as if she is on the brink of death. She becomes quite cold to the touch. And it's almost like she sort of like drops into like if the world existed in infrared, like if we saw in infrared all of the time, it's sort of like she sort of drops into this way of looking at magic itself and really communing with the concept and the flow of magic as an entity in the world. And it's this tendency is something that she did a couple too many times, a little too close to some people back home that were doing some shit that they were hoping nobody would notice in the sort of cloud of magic that just is happening all of the time in the Magisterium. But Asala has brought back has sort of touched into an old way of doing things that allows her a bit greater sight into the inner workings of magic. She can't do much about what she sees in this moment, but she can just sort of gain some sight.
All right, that is perfection. So you get settled, you go into your trance, and the world changes in front of you. You can see the storm of magic swirling around. You can see these like ripples in the ground as this drum beat pulses out underground. And in the middle of it, you see this one bright green spot, and you can tell that it is shaped like a tree. And there is something moving around the tree. But that's not, it's hard for you to focus on that bit because Finn Harrell is not your boyfriend. But when you're looking around, as you're taking this in, like you can pinpoint a couple things. Like you can see roughly where the center of the swirling cloud of magic is in the camp. It is up top, and it is swirling around a little bit higher and tighter, and it's almost like looking into one of those it's like a glowing ball at the middle of the storm a little bit. But as you're looking down towards where the pulses are coming from, you see a figure standing kind of more or less right at the epicenter of the pulses. And the figure is moving, just kind of in a circle, slowly, stops, turns and looks up at you. You can see him raise a hand. And then you are out of the vision. You are out of the trance. I need you to roll a d6. Okay, cool, good. You are just kind of like staggered back a little bit, but you are still fine. That was what I called an odds and evens luck roll. You got lucky.
I think that she, like, while she has been, like, while the trance is going on, you see her sort of pawing almost at the dirt, and there's like these crude markings that sort of show nothing. Like, it's not like, dear diary, today at this longitude and latitude, I saw a tree, and it's a pretty tree. It's more like a stick with like a branch coming out of it, and then like weird lines, but it sort of will help her share what she saw.
Awesome. Yeah. Got you. Y'all got a lot of information right now.
Yeah, I think she sort of comes back, and it takes a good minute for her to regain like herself. Like, I feel like it's almost like her entire body like has been asleep. You know what I mean? It's that feeling of sort of she has to sort of come back to herself. And she says, there is a tree in the middle, and she kind of points like in the direction of like where it would be. It's there, and they're hiding it, and there's someone hiding it.
And we
I
have to
don't
get
know
closer.
how. No, it's hidden. I don't think we're going to see it. I think-
Asala,
Yeah.
Mhm.
while you're pointing, you can see the tree. It hadn't been there a little bit ago, but there's a tree in the middle of the camp now. It's kind of glowy.
Can we also see it?
I don't know. Are y'all looking for it now?
I mean, I know that she's pointing at something.
You can, anyone who wants to can try. So perception seeing, unless you are a mage, in which case you can use magic. Valentina, you get advantage on this.
I think as she realizes that like the tree is there in her actual vision, but it still looks like it doesn't look like the rest of the real world. I think she's going to sort of like tug a little bit on Calix's like sleeve, and as she's pointing, not to like alarm anyone, but sort of be like, do you see it? Like, tell me. Like,
Calix for sure sees it. And Valentina, yeah, with that, we'll take that 19. You definitely see that as well. Atrian, Mariana, you don't. There is no tree there. I don't know how this is helping you get your sister back. They're just talking about trees. That's not helpful right now. Atrian, you see something. It's not a tree. It's shimmery. There's like a shimmer, but there's not a tree.
All right.
It's weird magic, probably. I don't know.
Well, regardless if there's a tree or not, we cannot just stand here idly and do nothing. We're gonna have to get closer.
Yeah, we need to make a move. Is that? I mean, if Asala says she sees a tree, then I trust her. I don't know anything about magic. Is that where
Yeah.
we're going? Do we need somewhere else?
I don't think so. Question, Matt.
Yes.
Based on previous observation and by looking at the general direction, if I do see a patrol there at the same time as well, Are they wearing some kind of uniform or anything?
Vaguely. It's nothing super specific as like it is not an army uniform, but they are all, you can tell that none of them are in robes. They look like they're like dressed for combat, maybe, as best you can tell, like probably leather armor. But
Okay, but from
still-
this distance, nothing like that would be distinguishing. They're,
Right.
All right, I may look again once I'm closer. Mariana, potentially, how quickly can you kill a man?
oh my god.
That it depends on the situation, if they're armored or not. If I catch them asleep or by surprise, I mean, I could use some of my poisons as well, but it get tricky.
Just wondering if those patrolmen have any emblem or anything. One of us may be able to disguise themselves as one of them, but we would have to dispose of whoever we subdue quickly.
I think
I figure this
between-
may be in your crow skill set.
I could help with that, and I think with your help, we definitely could do that.
One thing does occur, I love that plan, not to throw a wrench in that plan. In my talks with Fenharel, I don't recall how concerned he's been with the people under the Prophet's thrall, so much as stopping the Prophet. So if we do stop at the tree first, and the tree is his business, as I assume it is, that may be more of a push down the hole to deal with things. Maybe where he offers his support. I don't know if we think we try and hit the camp ritual and then send one or two people to the tree at the same time. I don't know if potentially we could create a loud disturbance at one side of the camp to draw away some of these guards. I'm not interested in fighting all of them. There seems like a lot of people.
I mean, I have a firebomb left. I could blow something up.
And if anything, I can distract them and attempt to make a quick escape. I'm from the woods, so it should not be too hard.
The Prophet's magic is strong,
I assume.
and he is, or his essence is here at the bottom of the pit.
Alright.
And if my sight is to be trusted literally and not just as a metaphor, at the very least, he is aware of my presence.
And that seems like a good time to go to break. We'll be back with Camp Infiltration here in a bit. Get some water, walk around for a minute, really process how much trouble they're going to get up into in this camp. And we will...
Be fine.
It's fine. It's fine. And we'll see y'all back here in just a minute. Welcome back from the break. We are the Tuesday night Dragon Age game, the companion to the Friday night Dragon Age game, and we are coming down to the wire, friends. So when we left off, we had gathered a whole bunch of information about this mysterious camp, and y'all were about to start making some plans.
Yeah. So I think taking out one of the guards is a good move. See if we can find anything useful. And then I can either with somebody or by myself go around to another side of the camp, create a big diversion, and I'll meet you all in the middle.
Right then. And before we head out, I'm gonna just quickly go to is it statues or carving or of the divines?
Mostly they're like wall carvings around the area. A few of them have some a little bit more elaborate shrines.
I'm just gonna go stand in front of Android and just whisper to myself, Glamonin, and then just get ready for the hunting, because that's what I might be doing out there. In its own way. So.
Roll perception for me while you're standing there at the carving.
Specific perception or just general perception?
Seeing.
Yeah. 10.
10? Okay. Cool. Nothing really catches your eye. It's a very good carving. Anyone else making plans, doing anything before y'all head out?
On the way out, I would I'd walk over to the wolf statue and just think at it. I don't know if that's how you get a response from it, but I go over to the wolf and I just I direct my thoughts and I'm like, are we too late? How is our timing?
Ooh, boy.
It is also totally fine if nothing happens because I'm just thinking in front of a statue.
Are you touching the statue at all?
I think if thinking gets no response, then like Calyx will glance around and try and see if anyone's looking. And if no one's looking, we'll just like tap it real quick.
You tap it, you reach out and you tap it, and the whole statue just like and that's it.
That was not helpful.
It winks at you.
All right, let's go. let's just leave.
Okay, are we killing a guard first, a sentry first, or are we just heading in?
So what are the groups? Let's figure out what the groups are here. Mariana wants to go and make kill a guard and then go make a distraction. Is that going to be Mariana alone doing that? Is anyone teaming up with you for that? And that can be multiple parts. I'm not trying to compartmentalize that into one team.
No, I'm a firm believer in the buddy system. No. So who could make a big mess or help you get out of there when things goes down?
Yeah, I think the issue is once we create the diversion, we have to get away from the diversion. And I think you and I are going to be the best people to do that.
Find out what you know.
Asala?
I have actually a procedural question for Matt.
Yeah.
Can I cast rock armor on whoever goes to, because I'm assuming the diversion is going to be of the explodey variety.
It did sound that way. Yeah. You can
Yeah.
absolutely cast.
So
What-
okay, I
what
didn't
was
know
the
if there was
first
a
clue?
limit, like you could only do certain things in a combat situation. I didn't know like what if there was some sort of rule that I had not written down.
Nah, use your magic.
So who is going to go with Mariana?
So, just for your information, a mage, somebody having armor is not going to get any benefit from that.
Oh, okay.
Just did not want you to, if anything, spend, some mana point for.
Okay. So it's not going to help anybody anyway. All right. Well, I tried. All right, just kidding.
If one of the mages was going with you, it'd probably
Yeah,
help them. But with those
Yeah.
two,
Actually, maybe clever to have one of the magic user go with you. I can probably guide whoever comes with me easily around.
Yeah, it's true. Asala, you've been wanting to light stuff on fire. Still want to do that?
I mean, it has proven to be essentially my only valuable contribution to the party thus far, so I am more than happy to be of use.
I wouldn't say that, but it's going to be dangerous. Are you okay with that?
I imagine at any rate, the forest has the right to a few more Tevinter souls. Why not? I'm
will
definitely
try to-
casting rock armor on myself.
I will try to make sure you don't get stabbed.
I appreciate that.
So, first potential murder of a guard, so that we have a possible disguise to get in more ease, if that's possible. And then see there any way to. I'm presuming that you magic folks don't have any way to communicate from a distance without, just shouting.
No. We personally do not.
No.
Such things exist, but we do not possess them.
I mean, we'll give you a sign when it's time for
Oh.
you all to go. It's
I'm
going to be-
sure-
I'm sure it's going to be clear.
Yes.
I was going to say, I assumed we would hear your diversion.
All right.
hear, see, experience.
Smell. Smell will probably be
Yeah.
great. Also sensory indicator of our success.
So looking at Asala's kind of like crude drawing that she did while she was essentially astrally projecting, we can kind of identify like an area of camp farthest away from where the ritual would be. I hope, because it's so we want to draw them. We want to get the ritual site as undefended as possible. Correct. That way, the other three of us can start making an advance that way. You two can meet us there, and we could shut down the ritual.
Yes. Let's kill as few people as possible. We don't know who's being controlled.
And is anybody? No one's feeling any weird brain tingliness since we've been here, correct?
I don't think so.
I know
Yeah.
that, at least in my experience, there's been a lot of that over the last
Yeah.
week, but since we've entered like this perimeter.
I know that weird song has been affecting a lot of the elven folks. I don't feel anything weird being here, do I?
No.
Well, with the note of buddy system, let's just if any of us is feeling compulsions to dig, let's share that with the rest of the team.
All right.
Okay, let's go with the distraction team first. So Mariana and Asala. Talk to me about this plan. Talk to me about what y'all doing. What's going on over here in Distraction World?
I guess if we can find a guard by themselves, the first point of issue is, I guess, getting a solid disguise. So, just in case, since we want to disguise, and then blowing something up.
Seems great. All right. So go ahead and roll me a perception seeing once y'all get kind of a little bit in closer to the camp, and we'll see if we can find you a lone guard. Okay, Mariana, do you want to use those stunt points for anything?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm looking at them. Do I want to do that makes me wonder, or advantageous positioning? Well, some of these say that I can wait until you describe what I found until I make my choice.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, no, Asala, you're noticing the patrols happening and everything, but I feel like you're maybe a little bit distracted by stuff. Mariana, you're able to start tracking the guards, and it really kind of feels like whomstever is doing this is maybe not the best at it. Whoever is kind of like organizing this or controlling this or whatever is really not the best at it. So you're looking through stuff, and you eventually figure out that one guard is running a little bit slow, so the one behind him is going to be alone near a tent for maybe just long enough for you to like deal with him and hide him. Well, be close.
is it obvious from looking at them whether or not they look like the ones that are being mind controlled, the shambling ones, or?
They are definitely not shambling. And it would be hard to tell otherwise right now.
Okay.
But this is no one you recognize. Like, you do not recognize this as a crow. They're not wearing crow gear.
Okay. Then I will spend. I have 3 points, right? Yeah. I only need one. I'll spend 2 points for speedy search, so it takes half the time. And then the last point in advantageous positioning, which means I make the discovery from within 2 yards. So I'm like in position to do something.
Perfect. Love it. All right. So let's get you some sort of attack roll here on this person.
Well, if I'm going in for the kill, this is going to be an attempted backstab. So it's first stealth versus stealth versus perception seeing.
Okay.
Oof.
Think about those stunt points. Well, you beat the idiot, so you got 4 stunt points you can use in this.
I totally forgot to. I was going to put one of my poisons on my blade, but it's fine. Okay, I am going to. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to make my attack. I'm going to 1 point for Pierce Armor,
Good.
2 points for Mighty Blow, and a point for Stay Aware.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's an extra 1d6. So it'll be an extra 2d6 damage
Beautiful.
on top of this. And it's armor piercing. So this attack will be +2 because of backstab. Wait, that didn't work. Why did that not work?
We got one of those double pluses in there. So
It worked.
8, 10,
I just-
13.
Just tried it out and it worked when I tried it out.
I think 13.
Hang on. So 5, 9, +2 is 11, +2 is 13.
Okay. Cool. And do you have some bonuses to add to that?
Nope, that's to hit.
Oh, 13 to hit. Yes.
Oh, it hits. Oh, good. Okay. So it is. Plus what? I add dex to it, right? Or do I add strength? I forget.
I believe Dex.
Dex. Okay, so it's 21 points because I rolled 2 6s and a 5.
And you did Pierce Armor, right?
Yep.
You got a corpse to deal with now.
I also used so stay alert.
Uh-huh.
So that is I roll a TN 11 perception test to stay aware. Hang on. Either make you aware of some battlefield situation that has so far escaped your notice, or give you +1 bonus to the next test I make.
Okay. Which one would you like?
I think it's your choice. Yeah, it's your choice. I rolled
Okay.
an 18 with 6 stuck points in that perception.
Yeah, you did. We'll give you a real good real good bonus to your next roll here. Because you did pretty good on your earlier perception stuff. So there's nothing really here to be concerned about. And just kind of bank those points for a little bit. Isala, you saw Mariana next to you. You saw the guard coming around. Then Mariana wasn't next to you. And then Mariana was dragging a body somewhere.
I think Asala looks on in like rapt admiration. Like, just like, I mean, I'm not going to say that Asala's never been in a position where she's had to dispose of once sentient remains, but like, she's pretty stoked. That, like, she's like, wow. Like, there's a little bit of like 10-year-old girl at first Hannah Montana concert eyes. Like, a little bit.
I look up at Asala. Help me move the body. He's heavy.
Yeah, Asala totally goes and helps drag.
If I check in the tent he was next to, is anything in there? Anyone in there?
There's no one in there. It looks like just a supply tent.
Okay, I'll drag him in there then. Okay, this is your disguise. It's a little bloody. I apologize for that. But I'll keep an eye out if you want to change quickly.
Yeah, Asala totally like changes quickly, and I think opens like a barrel of something unfortunate, like grease or something, and shoves her robes in there.
Oh no! Oh, that's delightful.
Just so that nobody sees her discarded clothes and is like, why a minute?
They would do that. You right. So congratulations. Mariana, you already more or less resemble one of the guards just in general outfit. So congratulations. We can call you two disguised. Hooray.
Well, we just got one, so that was for Asala.
Well, yeah. Asala now doesn't look like a mage, but your whole general outfit already kind of resembles the guards enough that most people
Oh.
aren't going to give you a second look.
So I shouldn't put my crow mask on that I was about to put on. Good
Oh, I
to
mean,
know.
you can do what you need to do.
Looking out from the tent, do I see anything particularly flammable on this side of the camp?
Roll me a perception seeing.
$14 plus whatever you want to give me from the last one.
Okay. There is definitely you're near kind of the crafty areas. Also, and just as a fun little bonus, Asala did just open a vat of grease. So there's like a tannery tent nearby. You can smell it, or vat of grease in this tent, full of crates of supplies.
Oh, we want big. It's got to be that tannery tent.
All right. Cool. Yeah, you can get over there. There's no one really around right now.
I think as she starts going, if Asala starts to follow, she's like, you're going to want to stay back for this.
Asala looks momentarily like kind of bummed, but then like is like, yes, it sort of mimics like the moving and like cataloging of supplies that like does something that looks official, like counting crossbow bolts or shovels or like filling out TPS reports or something.
Oh, perfect. I love it. All right.
And I'm going to get close enough where I can. Do I see anybody in this tent?
Nope.
Okay. I'm going to get close enough where I can lob my last grenade in there. This one's a firebomb. It does 3d6 damage and ignites flammables. I can make the grenade check to chuck it if you want, but that's usually for in combat.
Yeah, you can take the time to actually just like toss this correctly. So give me, we're going to do just a little bit of a luck roll. So just roll me a D6. Okay. Neat. You lob the grenade into the tent. It rolls in between some barrels and it's going. It's about to go. Do you
I
get clear?
quickly back up. Yes.
It goes hard. Like the tent, it blasts out the sides. The whole tent is up in the air. Bits of leather, like flaming leather, are launched out every direction. Other tents are starting to ignite. You kind of got blasted back off of the ground a little bit by the eruption. And across the clearing in the woods, the other team sees that very clearly. Asala, give me a perception hearing if you have it. Otherwise, just perception. Okay. I'm going to offer to kind of give you a bonus with those stunt points, unless you have something specific you'd like to do with them. Asala.
I have no idea how I
Perfect.
could. So
Okay. Cool. Mariana, you don't hear this because, explosion.
Still ringing. Yeah.
Yeah. Asala, you heard the blast. You felt the blast. You experienced the blast. You definitely started to hear like the little pitter patter of burning bits of leather and stuff dropping onto your tent. So you're probably moving out of it pretty quick. But the weird thing is there's no alarms. There's no yelling. There's no noise. And as you exit the tent the same way y'all came in, you should be able to see the next guy on patrol. And no. In fact, outside of the pyre, just raging now across several tents of crafty materials, the entire area around you is silent.
I think she's gonna kind of listen and take a second and sort of turn to Mariana like, I mean, were they all in there? They weren't.
What?
She's gonna kind of look around and then look at Mariana like, there's literally nothing happening. Where are the guards? Who is investigating?
Nobody was in there.
Nobody's here.
They
Do I
realize it's a
see
distraction.
do I see like droned out guards like going about their business, like not caring, or do I just not see anyone else?
You see nobody.
Do I get the sense that like there were people wandering around, right?
Oh yeah, you saw them.
Like 8 seconds ago.
Uh-huh.
Can I still see the tree?
Yes.
Okay. Can I still see like where our team is?
You can see over that general direction. If you really focused, you can see them starting to move in towards the tree, which
Okay.
we'll get to here in a second.
Do I see the prophet?
No.
Can I just do like a arcana check of some kind to sort of check into like, were these like spectral guards? Was this a camp of things that are fake?
Ah, interesting. Yeah, roll me magic or arcane lore. Cunning arcane lore will also do it.
That's a 14.
No, these were real people. Like you're still wearing that dead guard's outfit. This was real. What you do notice is from your earlier magic-y tests, that cloud of like controlling magic has reduced in size to just over the center of the camp. And there's a lot happening down in the hole.
Okay. So they're all in the hole. Is that like a reasonable?
That is a reasonable assumption.
Okay, great.
Well, we did our
Yeah.
job.
What?
We did our job. We need to just get to the tree with the others.
Great. I saw I was gonna follow Mariana's lead.
All right, y'all are gonna head to the tree.
I am going to, as we're heading there, kind of crouched down sneakily, I'm going to coat my knife, my main knife, in a death root extract.
Okay. Awesome. All right, let's flip over to the other team. There is a massive explosion from the camp. And I need y'all to do a perception roll for me. Perception C.
Should see.
Uh-huh.
All right, do that. Not too bad. 19 with 6 stun point.
That's a lot of stunt points.
I see things.
You see a lot of things. Calix doesn't
no.
Calix is just busy being Slenderman there.
Even though I don't see anything with it, can I use that stunt point to be advantageously positioned by what I don't see?
Yes.
Cool.
And Valentina?
Sorry, Roll20 decided to not show up for me, but I've got it. It's the
Okay.
perception. And what
Yep.
else?
Perception scene.
Here. I'm just gonna I think I just do perception.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, what did I get?
You also don't see anything.
Do I use my advantage or not? Don't waste them on this.
No, you can. So you can do, like, if you want to follow Calix's lead and just kind of ready up for something, you sure can.
I'm gonna use my advantage.
Oh yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go with the 7 and not the critical fail.
Oh my goodness.
Well, we get it out of your system now.
Yep.
Things are be better in the future. That's how odds work. All right, so Calix and Valentina, I feel like it's more because you see Atrian suddenly like noticing stuff that the two of you are just like, ready up, alert. Atrian,
Yes.
you had been tracking kind of the motion of the guards walking
Mhm.
around the perimeter, and you noticed just before the boomy happened that there were not any more coming.
Hmm.
In fact, all motion in the camp had trickled to a stop. Oh, also, there's a glowing tree.
Well, that's great.
weird.
Yeah. Trees don't usually glow.
None
You
that
know.
are good for you, almost
No.
certainly.
Yeah. All right. That's interesting. I'm gonna turn towards the magic folks and I'm assuming that's the tree itself. And if I can use those stun point, I'm gonna use. I'm assuming I can do that quickly with speed search for 2 points,
Oh, yeah.
and I can probably do the upper hand for if shit hit the fan, I will have a bit of a bonus on initiative.
Sure.
Okay.
Sounds great. Yeah, there's nothing moving.
Do I see people at all, or they're just? I can assume they're in the hole.
I don't know that you can assume they're in the hole. That might be a logical conclusion to get to, but there's no one moving around. In fact, the only thing you do see is pretty clearly Mariana and Asala.
All right. About 10, 15 yard ahead of.
Other side of the camp, but you can tell it's them. They're moving
Yeah.
rapidly away from where an explosion happened instead of rapidly towards where a fire is spreading.
All right. I'm gonna move towards them and just gesture quietly the two mage behind me to follow me without hopefully, having them stumble upon a root or something and break their nose, because that would be awkward.
Yeah, y'all are able to take your time and move up towards the camp.
Yep. Still gonna move as discreetly as possible and scout a bit ahead, just in case it's a ruse.
Sure.
I think Calix is getting anxious and maybe following a bit too close behind you. Like, I don't know if it's cramping your stealth style or not, but it's like he's just like, something's weird. We need to move faster. Something's wrong.
I think Valentina's kind of trailing behind a little. Just taking all the scenery in.
Yeah.
Awesome. Y'all, there's that glowing tree, and y'all are getting closer to it, Valentina. That seems cool.
Did
Yeah.
I sense getting closer to it? Like, does it feel any different?
There is a different feel to the power coming off of it versus like the primal energy kind of under and around you.
And no urge to dig.
It's like it's in the same family, but it's a different branch of the tree. Is maybe
Okay.
the best way to describe it. Close, but not the same. All right, so y'all are able to get right up into the camp. There's nobody. If it is a ruse, they're missing a lot of prime opportunities to get the jump on you.
Mhm.
The only thing keeping me from just running at the tree in the hole at this point is kind of like not wanting to go past Atrian, like wanting to let him keep leading the way and not like overstep. But
Nice.
otherwise I'm like, it's like almost like a dog waiting to go outside or like run ahead of its owner.
Coming up on the tree, do we see anything that resembles a horn? Anything like that?
Mariana does not. Asala and Calix and Valentina can roll this as well. Roll me just a straight magic check. Cool. So Asala and Calix are definitely going to see this. See this is the wrong thing. Is the wrong word. Y'all can feel it. Y'all are kind of skirting the edge of the kind of the magic-y cloud that's over the hole. But y'all can feel the magic coming off the ritual. It's still up top. It's just kind of that away. It's like y'all are close to it, but it's like the tree is on one end of where the hole will be, and the ritual is on the other end of where the hole will be. But y'all can feel it now. Someone is doing some heavy magic. Asala and Valentina, you'll be able to feel this just in general with your primal sense. It's weird magic. Calix, it's entropic magic.
Like just kind of generally affecting the whole area.
If Darkspawn had a magic smell, it would be similar to this.
I hate that.
And yes, it is permeating the area kind of under that magic cloud that y'all can kind of feel. But a lot of that power that had been, and Valentina, you can definitely with that sense this as well. Where that like magic cloud had been permeating the whole camp, it's like it got concentrated and pushed down the hole.
So the control ritual is still up top, like across the hole from us, but it's directing its influence down the hole.
Yes. To where all the people are.
We need to stop that ritual.
Does Mariana say that out loud?
To whoever's next to me.
There's a voice from behind you. It's your sister's voice behind you, who says in this really dull monotone voice, "No, I don't think so." And all of y'all can see 3 crows with their masks on, and one person in the robes of a Tevinter mage standing behind them, holding in his hand, in like a bubble of magic, what looks to be maybe a fragment of a horn. And we're gonna call it there for tonight. Big fight time next time, friends.
This is fine.
All right. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with us tonight. Thank y'all for listening to this wild situation just get worse at every turn. I love it. It's the best. We're going to go around and we're going to give everybody a chance to say what their favorite part was, where we can find them next, and anything else under the sun that they want to promote. And we're going to start with Rafiki.
Hi, I'm Rafiki. I'm a TTRPG streamer over here and all over the GR crew, or wherever people want to see my face. Outside of that, I'm a musician / composer under Raven Skulls Production. I'm currently working on a solo piano EP. Hopefully it's going to be out soon, if the brain goblins just want to go away. Favorite part here, it's hard to really pick one because there's many amazing parts. I mean, when I broke everybody when I asked how quickly Marina can kill somebody, that was great. But I also did enjoy seeing my mage here having some kind of magical epiphany. That was amazing, all of them. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Where can we find you next?
Next, good question. I don't think I have anything planned in the near future, or at least until January. So next is going to be here next week.
Awesome. Next up is going to be Icy Historian.
Oh my word, that's me. Wow. Favorite part. I think my favorite part, and I am totally not trying to butter up our darling GM here in hopes that I don't die a horrible, painful death, but I think the pacing of everything has really been my favorite part. I think that this is really well paced. It feels like an episode of a show, and our timing feels really, really good. And I like our cliffhangers. Not the biggest fan of where our intrepid heroes are being left at this particular moment, but whatever. We win some, we lose some. But yeah, I think that's something that I'm really excited about. I'm excited for us all to sort of have the Scooby Gang together. And yeah, I think that's what I'm most excited about. You can find me similarly to Rafiki. I don't have anything hard dates for anything up instead of this next week. But yeah, you can find me on the Categorically Insane podcast. We are going through the history of Harlequin romance novels as a way to examine basically 20th century modern culture, which has been fascinating. My friend Amber and I are doing that. And also beginning, I believe, just after the new year, my episodes will start airing of the Overpriced Concessions podcast, where a bunch of us talk about movies that we enjoy and whether or not they are worth today's overpriced concession. So more games on the horizon, but you can hear me talk a lot about things that upset me if you'd really like to do that. There we are.
Awesome. Anna.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into this rule book and see if non-lethal damage is a thing in the system. Because you're throwing my sister at me. But it's okay. There's a reason I put the death root extract on my blades. Yeah, favorite part has to be Atrian. How fast can you kill a man?
Look,
It's an important question. It's good to know. And we now have the answer.
Apparently very quickly. Yeah, I think we need a GIF of that. If any GIF comes out of this show, it needs to be how quick can you kill a man. But yeah, recording trans advocate, museum worker, and TTRPG streamer. If any of that sounds interesting, you find me on Twitter at Archival Dustbun. The season is wrapping up, but you can still find me. That is the wrong tab. On Sundays, you can still find me on Gona_Hawkins Twitch channel at 1:30 p.m. Eastern on Sundays, playing D&D in a world of 1930s technology. A really great cast of characters there. I play a noblewoman who has been on the run from a coup, and things have gotten very complicated. And when I'm not there, you can find me at 8 p.m. Eastern on every other Sunday at Guild of the Phoenix, playing Cyberpunk Red, where I play Medtech desperately trying to keep a party with a death wish alive. And if podcasts are more your thing, you can find me in Response Team Omnicron, a Lancer actual play podcast set in the No Room for a Wallflower campaign setting, following a PR team who unexpectedly finds themselves sent to the front lines. We have 3 episodes out so far. We'll have a new one out tomorrow. It'll be our first combat episode, and I'm very excited for you all to hear it. We're taking a fairly unique approach on combat for an actual play podcast, since Lancer is so crunchy. So check it out. Let us know what you think. The best place to see where and when I'm streaming is on Twitter, so give me a follow there.
Awesome. And next up is Pat.
Yeah. Gosh, favorite part was I'm a big fan of having the rug pulled out from under us. So I think my favorite part was big explosion and then no reaction. It's like, oh, everything's suddenly very quiet. This is not good. Yeah. And I'm Pat. I'm Attactric on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. And I am a TTRPG and video game streamer occasionally. Don't know where I'll be next, but that'll show up on Twitter when I know.
Awesome. And Janie.
What did I do this time?
Favorite part, where we can find you next? Anything else you want to promote?
I'm not good at promotions. So just look for me on Twitter, I guess, and I'll try to remember what I'm doing. I know I'm doing things. I don't know.
All right. And I am Matt of the GM. My favorite part of this was, boy, y'all just roll with whatever punches I dish out, don't y'all? I just present to you camp and y'all go like, let's blow it up. I love it. And also like, y'all were remembering things and letting me just have a chance to reincorporate ideas that may have slipped away in the intervening weeks. And I appreciate y'all very deeply for that. Thank y'all. You can find me next here on this channel with Janie on Thursday night for the Star Wars game. We are coming down to a season finale for that as well. And boy, I'm excited to see what our disaster crew gets up to in those 2 weeks that we have left there. You can find me over on my Twitch channel, Fifth Draw Live, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. I just got Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, and I'm going to start playing that tomorrow. So I wasn't gonna, and then I remember that that's the game you get Shaman in, and that's my favorite Pokemon. So, good job, Nintendo. You got me again. You can find me on my podcast, Hard Reboot, where me and 2 friends take a public domain property, slap a fresh coat of paint on it, and we got some fun ones coming out here very soon. And last but not least, I have an Etsy shop called Forge of Destiny. We have a whole bunch of new items up listed off there after our con this weekend. So check it out. It's a great place. And with that, I'm going to hand it back over to Raven. We only have 1 week left.
Oh, there we go. Helps to unmute my microphone. It's going to be awesome. I am very excited to see how the finale goes next week. But yeah, we're going to go on a raid here shortly. Before we do, I want to say another quick word about our awesome sponsors, which are Fundamental RPG and Die Hard Dice. Fundamental RPG is a simple D20 tabletop system. It's not tied to a genre, so it's really easy to use it for anything from high fantasy to sci-fi and everything in between. It's basically just a fantastic system to tell your own stories. And you can pick that up on Amazon for the physical copies, or at coffee.com/Raven if you prefer the PDF. Die Hard Dice, they sell amazing polymer and metal dice sets and accessories. You can find all of their stuff at dieharddice.com. If you use the code ANIMUS with a capital A, you can get 15% off your order until the 20th. and then that will go back to the normal 10% off. They threw in an extra 5% discount for the holidays, which was super nice of them. Currently, I highly recommend the Avalor Isa or Issa Lifeblood set. They're really cool. They're super clear with these red letters or numbers rather, and I really love the Avalor design because it has like the sharp pointy bits sort of cut in sort of a way that they're not super sharp. Like the D4 is no longer a caltrip. It's really nice. If you ever drop a D4 and step on it, then you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, fantastic sponsors. Go check out all their stuff. If you want to catch up on Dragon Age or any other shows that we have on the channel, you can do so at the Fantasy Network at watch.thefantasy.network. Or over on our YouTube channel, which is just search for Black Feather Guild on YouTube, and it should pop right up. And we'll be having a couple of exclusive streams over there next season, starting in January. So make sure that you subscribe and hit the notification button, because we will have some streams over there on Fridays that will be YouTube exclusives. So very cool stuff. We're gonna go on a raid. We're gonna go raid Nerdsmith. It's a fantastic channel with a ton of really awesome people. Go give them a follow if you're not doing so already. And then I will see you all on Thursday for our penultimate episode of Elite by Beskar. It's our Star Wars show. Very excited about that. There's going to be some cool stuff happening. So, bye everybody.